Hello, 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 my gorgeous sunshines. Welcome back, my house of spice. So tonight I'm going to be making a meatloaf. I don't know why this meat looks so, it's the lighting I guess, why it looks so white. It's not really white, it's like a pink. Anyway, my grandson, Frisbee, wants to assist. He went to go wash his hands. Here we are, the illustrious Frisman right here. Pull a chair around here, babe, so these people can see you, okay? Saddle up next to your Maz, and we're gonna get this party started. Okay. Get through. You got it? All right. Okay. Okie dokie. Here we go. Here we are. All right. So, we're gonna be making a meatloaf tonight. This video is going to be dedicated to my mama, my madre, because she loves my meatloaf, like loves my meatloaf. And she asked me to make it all the time. And excuse me for wearing the Christmas apron, but it's the only clean apron that I could find, so I didn't want to have my shirt showing. So anyway, we're going to fix this sound thing, but I forgot to charge my microphone again. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So anyway, let's get on to this. So I've got 2 pounds of ground beef, and you can use ground turkey if that, floats your boat, or a mixture if you want to. Anyway, got 2 pounds there. We're going to, first of all, we're going to put in our eggs. So I'm going to we're going to put in 2 eggs. So figure on an egg per pound of meat. That's about how I figure it. If you're going to make a huge meatloaf, Basically, you need it as a binder, so go ahead and crack it. Okay. Go ahead and put it in there. Crack it over the bowl. There you go. Okay, go ahead. Make sure you don't get any shell in there. Just open it up. Don't be afraid, open it up. There you go. All right, now put that there in the garbage. Put one more in there. Very good. And bloop. Okay, fantastic, babe. Right here, babe. Okay, so we got our 2 eggs in there. So now we're going to put in our, let's wash his hands now. So now, and literally, you're just dumping this in, mixing it up, shaping it into whatever shape you want to put it into. Put it in the oven on 375 until it's done. So next we're going to put in, me and my giant thing of, this is dried chopped onion. You can use fresh if you want to, but I love this in this dish. I love this. So I'm going to put in, for this recipe I'm going to put in about a half a cup of onion. About a half a cup. That smells good already. And then we're going to put in we need our breadcrumbs. So I use the Italian style breadcrumbs, but the brand doesn't matter. Get generic, whatever. Like I said, you're just using this to make it not a giant hamburger. You don't want a giant hamburger. You want something that's going to be a little bit, number one, it's going to stretch it. And then number 2, it's going to make it a different texture. It's going to make it more of a mealy texture. So, okay. So now I'm going to use, typically, for a 2-pound meatloaf, I use half of this canister. Usually they come in this size canister, here in the U.S. anyway. So, like I said, and I'm going to let you put this in there. You're going to put half of it in there, okay? Half of the canister in there. All right?
Okay.
Go ahead. Shake it out. That's okay. Don't be shy. Go ahead more. I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and stop. All right. Okay, so we've got half the canister in there, as you can see. There we go. All righty. Put the tap back on this dude. All right, so now we are going to add our black pepper. We're just going to go around, I like to say go around the bend. We're going to make sure that the top of it's coated in it. I like black pepper. You don't like black pepper? You know, this is one of those things you season to taste. So, you know, do you.
Black pepper on my noodles.
You like, yes, black peppers on noodles are muy delicioso. We're going to put a little bit of, I prefer minced garlic, but I didn't have any. So we're going to use our dried garlic powder, and I'm going to sneeze because that pepper went up my nose. But the garlic powder, do we have a gnat in here? Do we have a gnat in here? Okay. All right. Anyway, so we're going to use some garlic powder. So we're going to use about a tablespoon of garlic powder, I'm going to say. Like I said, gentle coating of the top of it. We're going to use some onion powder. You want to put it in? Once around the bend. That's okay. Very good. All right. That's good. Thank you, sir. All right. Now we're going to put in, I'm putting in this Longhorn grill seasoning. All this is seasoned salt. I tasted it. It's seasoned salt. You know, they can get fancy with it if they want to, but there's nothing in this here that is any different from seasoned salt, basically. And it's very salty. So we're going to use, I'm going to put this in because I don't want you to put too much in. Okay, babe? All right. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to put a light coating, light dusting on the top because the breadcrumbs have a little bit of salt in them. Excuse me, I thought I was going to cough or sneeze. The ketchup's got salt in it. Yep, it happened. Okay, so now this is my secret ingredient. It is. It's my secret ingredient. So this one here, I always put ketchup in my meatloaf. I don't put, it doesn't taste ketchupy, but it gives it an amazing flavor. So we're going to probably do about I'm going to say about a half a cup of this. Yep, about a half cup. Okay. Now this is the fun part. This is where you have to get your hands dirty, or I hate to get my hands dirty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up with gloved hands. And then we're going to shape it. Okay? So we're going to get in there and mix all this goodness up together. And you can put in, and also, you know, I should say this too. You can put in green pepper if you're so inclined. Like I said, you can put in celery if that's your jam. I am not crazy about, I like green pepper in certain things, but I don't like green pepper in meatloaf for some reason. What are you doing, honey? What are you doing? Just shaking out the sillies. Shaking out the sillies. Yep. So, this is what we're doing. We're getting our egg mixed in here. All right, I have my dancing assistant here. So now we're going to transfer this over, and I got my other glove on now. We're going to transfer this over into my glass bowl. And I have a meatloaf pan, but it's not, I don't think it's going to be big. I think this meatloaf is just a smidge too large for that pan. So, that's okay. We're going to hand shape it, which is no biggie. And you can make it in a square, you can make it in a rectangle, you can make it in a circle if you want to. You can make it in the shape of a face. That's disturbing. I like to pat it down to kind of get it as like put together, you know what I mean, like mushed together as I can. so that it doesn't break apart too much. But you know what? If it breaks apart on you, you know, it is what it is. It's not like it's the end of the world, and still tastes good. So, all right. It's nice and smooth on top. You're making me nervous now, but okay. All right. So we've got our shaped meatloaf. Let me see what the other end looks like. Spank it. Don't be afraid to spank it. Okay. Now, I have quite a few people at my house tonight, so I don't know. I'm going to guess that this is going to feed about 8 people. But the way I got a whole bunch of teenagers and tweenagers here and adult men. So I'm going to say that this will comfortably feed. Yeah. Comfortably feed 8 people and maybe more. 8 to 10. Let's say 8 to 10. So this is what our meatloaf looks like going into the oven. There you go. He is beautiful. She is beautiful. So we're going to stick her in the oven, 375. I'm going to say for roughly about 40 minutes. I'm going to stick my nose in and check. Actually, after about a half an hour, I'm going to check on this bad boy, see how this bad boy is doing. So I'll be right back with you when he is almost done. And I'll tell you how many minutes I put it on for then. Love you. Be right back. Okay, that was pretty thick. After about an hour and 15 minutes, we're ready to go. Okay, so I got a little mixture of ketchup and barbecue sauce here. I'm just going to kind of coat the top a little bit and then stick it back in the oven for this to caramelize. And we're ready to go. Okay, there she is. There is my meatloaf. So let me go on ahead and get this plated and I'll show you what we got. Okay, so this is, I tried to plate it and make it look all pretty. But you know, here's the real deal. This is what really happens to a meatloaf over here. Because yes, when I tried to pick it up because it was so huge, it kind of came apart, and that's okay. Because it's still going to taste amazing. So we're going to plate this up with some potatoes, but this is it. This is Ma's meatloaf.